Well, good morning. Welcome to Wednesday, last one. I've been 5 weeks to talk through this topic. It's been good to write about and speak about and challenge people to really not settle for a kind of midway point of fulfillment and satisfaction, but find way to equip and talk through ways to have it be the most that you're looking for, because certainly that will have a big impact on our well-being and the wellness you want to experience. So this last week is the relational pursuit, writing about it, encouraging people, because I think this, in some ways, this aspect of it is the glue that holds the rest together. It's certainly where a lot of the other pursuits are experienced to the fullest in interactions with other people. So, writing on Monday on some really key aspects of this, we've had these phrases throughout the month. This week is about people management. We've had mood and time and meaning management, and now people management. Really, it's about prioritization. And are you able to, for the people that are most important to you or impact you the most, are you able to dedicate the time to them and interact with them in a way that's the fullest that you want to have? Because that'll be a direct correlation with your overall fulfillment and satisfaction as it goes forward. So there were two kind of aspects to write. The first one is along the lines of, if you want those relationships to be good, you continually have to work at them. The mistake that sometimes people make is thinking we're good, we'll just stay this way and it'll go forward. But through the challenges of life and the ups and downs and the experiences that people have, it becomes a real grind. And so that encouragement to say continually work, continually grow, continually be able to do that will help. The other side to talk about is kind of the caution, is that you can reach contentment in the relationships around you. Again, whether they're primary or extended, and you can just realize, I think they'll be okay and I'll be content with where they are. But over time, those become a little bit stale. They lack some of the energy that's there, and suddenly those relationships don't have the same fulfillment and satisfaction. So this week, really talking about a pathway to make them better, and the awareness of what's the temptation or pitfall that can come into being. So challenging everybody to really put that to the test this week. Can you, in some of those exercises or intentions, can you take time this week to meet with someone that you feel like you haven't been able to prioritize well recently? Find some one-on-one time in some kind of particular way. So it's an opportunity to reestablish that prioritization and make sure that person knows just how important he or she is in your life. And the real challenging exercise is to ask that person about some of these skills that create a growth in those relationships. And so when you're together with that person, ask him or her, do you think I'm good at communicating, and do you think I'm good at resolving conflict? Because without those two skills being good, it is hard to reach fulfillment and satisfaction in relationships with other people. So those are the summary of Monday and some of the quotes that I have. But as I was thinking about what else can we find to be a little bit pointed or inspirational about why relationships need to be worked on and really valued and not just taken for granted, here are some additional quotes about the impact of relationships on us. From a website I came across that was just accumulating a bunch of them. So here are some that stood out to me. This is from Oscar Wilde. Ultimately, the bond of all companionship, whether in marriage or in friendship, is conversation. And it illustrates that need to have an ongoing interaction, an ongoing transparency. Peter Drucker said, the most important thing in communication is to hear what isn't being said. I particularly like that one as a counselor, because sometimes people will say one thing, but their body language is saying something else, or the way they say it is abrupt, or it's really thin. And so it's really looking at what else is coming across in that communication. Stephen Covey said, trust is the glue of life. It's the most essential ingredient in effective communication. It is the foundational principle that holds all relationships. And if you think that's an overstatement, but you've been in a relationship or an interaction with someone where they've broken your trust even a little bit, you know exactly what he's talking about, because profound betrayal is really hard to overcome. Yurvay Singh has wrote, I've been in love. It was a great feeling, but love isn't enough in a relationship. Understanding and communication are very important aspects. And as a relational counselor, I certainly want to echo that oftentimes people will assess the impact of their relationship based on this feeling of love that they have that goes up and down through the challenges of life. Joy and happiness are some other examples of things that will be important to define. But many times in those relationships around us, again, whether primary or extended, love is this kind of action and commitment that is just as important as that actual feeling of what love is. Mark Twain said, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Which is a simple statement, but it's certainly straightforward, just to recognize that when something starts to be misstated, the vast conspiracy and webs of things just to maintain maintain a lie is very, very exhausting, and goes back to that trust issue. If you're always telling the truth, it's really easy to be trusted and go forward. And then finally, Harriet Breaker said, conflict avoidance is not the hallmark of a good relationship. On the contrary, it is a symptom of a serious problem and poor communication. Now, it can be seen a couple different ways. Certainly, people don't want conflict in a relationship, and they want to be able to find ways to navigate it so they don't have conflict. But if you're always avoiding conflict, there is something going on. And so let's go back to our exercise. We said, can you ask somebody when you get together with them this week, how do you think I am at communication and conflict resolution? You'll get some really good answers if you can ask that question. So it brings us to these questions this morning. If you think about relationships for yourself, what do you think is what is like the key ingredient for you that makes relationships thrive for you? What's the key ingredient to experiencing that relationship that makes it fulfilling and satisfying for you? Heard some quotes of other people, but what about for yourself? What do you look for to make those relationships very fulfilling? Examples might be good listener, empathy, quality time, shared experiences. Just some examples. What resonates with you? I took all the good answers. Just trying to help you 5 a.m. What's that? What I hear? Shared meals. Love it.
Shared inside jokes.
Inside jokes. Yeah. Taps into memories and experiences. What are some other examples of things important to you that help those relationships thrive? That's a good one. Availability. Yeah, especially when you need something or a crisis is going on. Good things to think about. My default is you all have one. And so if you can identify what that is, it's really going to help maximize it. And hey, the more you talk about it, the more you engage people, the more you ask them the same question, it will certainly start to reveal in those relationships you have, what are those most important things? And those are all great examples. Second question, what's the lesson you've learned from a relationship you've had in the past that you live out? A lesson you've learned in any kind of relationship you've had that you just continue and you live it out because it is proven to be so valuable for you. I can give some more examples, but I want to take all the answers again.
No, I would just say tell the truth.
Tell the truth. Echoing Mark Twain. It's good. Being a good listener. Yeah. Others? What's that? Generosity. I like that one. Yeah. Again, just it's probably an answer that's floating around. I think one that really stands out to me, just thinking as I was writing, thinking this back through with all the people I have contact with, it's the ability to keep your word. That kind of is an umbrella term that encompasses a lot of things, but if you say what you're going to do and you do it, it really, really helps. And if you say how you're going to act and you actually do it, it really, really helps. So this idea of maybe it's keeping your word, maybe it's integrity, whatever it might be, but it builds trust, it builds connection, it makes things deeper and more satisfying around you. So be thinking of that. It is a recipe unique to each person about what is going to make that relationship around you be fulfilling and satisfying. But you notice all of these things take effort and they take consistency, and you want to build them. So some final comments here that just illustrate why this one is so important. I think that healthy relationships kind of empower our passion and raise that fulfillment and satisfaction, even if the other areas are struggling. If you have a physical injury and you can't quite be as active as you can, we talked about time management or some other things, but if your physical body is failing, but you have good people around you, it seems to really carry the day and give you some of that energy you can't get on your own with physical activity. So it really does inspire some passions. The shared activities we spend, the proximity, the interactions we have really does inject a vast amount of energy and encouragement to us that takes the overall fulfillment and satisfaction level in life to a higher level. Kind of a caution or a warning is that if you don't avoid assumptions about things about other people, or you don't project upon them what you're thinking and what you think they're thinking about you, and instead cling to goodwill and benefit of the doubt in relationships. It's a really hard thing to do sometimes, especially if some of that trust has been kind of had some holes poked in it. But if you can cling to goodwill and benefit of the doubt in relationships, it's going to carry you through some of the challenges that exist. People are not perfect, so they will make mistakes and disappoint you and come up short. But if you hold on to goodwill and benefit of the doubt, right? If you show them grace and mercy, you've heard those words from me before, it's going to go a long way to help those relationships improve. It is very simple to hold on to a list of grievances that people have done against you and see that relational satisfaction level go down. So you have to make a choice of how do you respond to that, or else it's going to prevent you from experiencing things you want. And then this last one is that I think that spending quality time is what really maximizes a lot of these pursuits. When you spend quality time with other people doing things, you have a chance to really hear some of that wisdom from them, have a chance to do very fulfilling activities with them. You have a chance to have feedback. Think about last week with the emotional pursuit, when other people can point out to you where strengths are with some emotions. You have a chance to develop new meanings that come into play. So just trying to illustrate how this week, this relational aspect of the pursuit of fulfillment and satisfaction really does carry things to a higher level. So it's a good month to have talked through this in lots of different ways. I don't believe there's a person that says, I don't need to be fulfilled and satisfied in life. If they're saying it, there's already a wound or a disappointment there that has to be worked through. Generally, this is a common goal and a common experience people want to have. So all month long, it's been great to be able to talk about it and say, here are some stepping stones to get there. Because if you don't have it, doesn't mean you can't. And it's a way to really say, how can you go forward? So talk to the people around you, talk to Bill or I, if you feel like I am capped at a ceiling and I can't get through, because there are ways to get there. Looking ahead to next month, it's May, so it's Mental Health Awareness Month, so that's right in my wheelhouse. So we'll spend those 4 weeks just talking about different aspects of how to really maximize that month for ourselves or other people we care about. So thank you very much. Have a good workout today and a good week. All right.